In the last video, I had to stop work after installing the flywheel because I didn't have the right bolts for the pressure plate. But thankfully, I got some help. So now I do have the bolts. My wife was nice enough to pick them up for me today while I was at work. You could say she was clutch. So first things first, I Mackie clean all the clutches. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the flywheel. And next, I position the clutch with the handy dandy alignment tool. Goes in like that, you insert it, and it holds the clutch centered about the flywheel while you attach the pressure plate. So now I'm gonna put the pressure plate on. I think I got it oriented right. We will certainly see. Rumor has it only goes on one way. And I think this is the way. All right, let me grab the bolts. Here they are. And I'm just gonna start screwing them in by hand. I just remembered I don't have a socket for these. I'm gonna make a quick run to the store because I definitely want to torque these right. So I went up to Lowe's and got a 9mm 12 point. So I'm gonna go ahead and snug them down and torque them. So I'm gonna torque them in a crisscross pattern. All right, and then one more time for good measure. All right, let's see how we get this off. Is that how it comes off? It is. All right, so we'll be replacing this bad boy. This looks pretty easy. Does this one just come out? Yeah, some little clips. All right, and it looks symmetrical. So wipe it down a little bit because I will be applying fresh grease. You can see how over the years it's got worn in a little. So got some Molly grease. My hand gets in the way, but I put grease on every area where there's metal to metal contact. Put some there. Put some there. And now just pop it back in. Like that. And I'm gonna put some grease on this guy and its mate. Definitely want to put enough grease. I don't know how much too much is. I'm gonna put some up here too. Then I'm gonna get a new glove. Yeah, so after doing this, I think the way to do it is to snap this on. And I'm gonna see if I can push this on the ball. Yeah, that was the way to do it. So now, yeah, and it's good and greased up. All right, let's move on to something I've been dreading. Unless I've been a really good boy, this probably won't come out with vice grips, but you gotta always give it a try. Sometimes you get lucky. Was gonna hit it with some PB Blaster, but that might make it too slippery. All right, let's see if we can get lucky. All right. I've never done it this way, but why not give it a shot? Look at that luck. Oh, I still need some leverage. So these work. They actually work. Look at that. So this is the first time I've ever gotten these to work. And it is this this Irwin kit. I think I tried it on some old suspension parts, but hey, that was pretty easy. I'm also gonna grease the spline while it's out because I definitely want it to go in smoothly. And I'm gonna grease this too. How much? I don't know, but I'll make sure there's grease on it. All right, that should be enough. Tied the power steering line up and out of the way because I knew it was gonna be a problem. I have an idea to make this easier. Let me take off this transmission mount. So I took this mount off. That'll give me some more room because that was hitting up against the driver's side fender area. We'll see if this allows me to jack it up and then rotate it into place. I've convinced myself that I can jack it up into an area such that I can push it in, but I have not been able to do it yet. I am close. I am so close, but I did mess up a coolant hose. So even if I do get it on, I won't be able to drive it today, but I'm getting there. I am getting much closer. So I'm gonna try jacking on a little different point. Well, it looks like I'm getting closer. That is lined up and I have one up top lined up. So now I just have to push it in. Yo, it's gone in a little bit. I am so close, y'all. From experience, I am not gonna tighten it all the way down, but I will try and get in the other two. Yeah, boy, it was a long road, but transmission is about to get reattached to the engine. That's 3 started. Pretty sure this one goes here. Let's see if it'll get started. Oh yeah. So now I can get rid of some of these jacks. So this one should go in perfectly now. And I don't know why you're not going in because everything else is lined up perfectly. There we go. And this is one of the few bolts that is on the passenger side, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it back on. I'm happy to see that my oil pan replacement isn't leaking. That is always good. Wow. Now that the transmission is reattached to the engine, I can finally pull out some goodies I got at Black Forrest Industries. I got some new mounts. Wow, this stuff looks fantastic. But what side is this? I know what this is. That is awesome. These are pretty sweet. The thing I do like about this kit is that it comes with all new bolts, and these are reusable. Yeah, so the small ones go to the chassis, the big ones go to the transmission mount bracket. And I think this is the transmission side. So let's see if we can install that pretty quick. I may get to this today, may not get to that, but we'll see. So to get this off, there's a bolt there, a matching one on the other side in there, and then there's one right in here. Let's see, I've only taken this off once. Let's see. Yeah, it'll give me access to that bolt. So I think there are only 3 bolts. This one, the one there, and the one there. But we will see. So I got that one off with a 13mm, and I'm guessing those are 15 or 17. If you took the average of what I said, it would be true. It's actually a 16. And they make a nice little hole for you to get through it through here. Here's a look at the old one and the new one side by side. And the new one does look better, it does look cooler. Yeah, we'll see if the new one performs any better. And why not just wipe it down a little bit, since I got access to an area that doesn't get accessed in decades, usually. That's good enough for something nobody's ever gonna see. And the new kit comes with all new bolts except for the little bolt that goes up here. So now I'm gonna get the power steering line back out of the way. And now I can mount this bracket back up there. So it goes like this. Yeah. And luckily they're all the same length. So as long as you have them together, you're good to go. So now, to make sure everything is out of the way, and it looks like it is, sort of. Now I can jack up the engine and the transmission, and bolt the transmission to the new mount. All right, that one lines up, but this one isn't. Let me see what I can do to fix it. All right, time for a break. So the hose that is broken on my car came in, and I can finally finish buttoning up the Golf so I can drive it, see how it feels. I tried to get this at the dealership, but they said it was discontinued and that I should try aftermarket. So that's what I did. I think I got it from carparts.com, or I don't remember, Pelican Parts, FCP Euro, one of those sites. And I also ordered this little plug. If I had this installed, I would have dropped that Allen wrench down there. And looking at it and comparing it to the one that's on the car, I believe that is the correct orientation. So I'm going to take out the old one and install the new one. The hoses go from over there to over here. This hose hasn't been removed in a long time. It does not want to budge. After so many years, some sort of adhesive bond seems to form between things. But I cut it off and I think I got it now. Well, thought I had it. So, finally got it off with a bunch of scraping and poking, but I don't know if you can see it. There's still a lot of rubber left on the barb, so I'm gonna have to clean that up a bit. So let's see if I can clean this up. God. Oh yeah, it's coming off. Well, I got it clean enough such that I think the tube will seal just fine. So now I'm gonna move on to where it connects over here, which is right here above the oil filter. And I bet these are gonna be just as hard to get off. All right, having leverage helped. Dadgummit. Let's see if I have any luck with this one. Nice. Here they are out in the open, the old one up top, the new one here, and they seem to match. Unfortunately, the new one doesn't have the part number stamped on it. I mean, maybe I can use that if I ever need to replace it again. But one good thing about the OEM parts is that they have the part number on it. But anyway, let's go ahead and put the new one on. So I transferred over the hose clamps. Now I can just push the new hose onto its new home. I suspect that originally this had a different type of hose clamp, but I'm gonna go back with what was on it. All right. All right, simple task, take a lot longer than I planned. Par for the course for this car. Oh, I just hit my head. Oh man. But anyway, I did pick up a new dog bone from Black Forrest Industries. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in now. So I am going to torque these down before I continue. So I'm going to jack up, take pressure off this and torque it down. My manual says 44 foot-pounds and then an additional 90 degrees. But I'm going to see if it's different for this kit that is from Black Forrest Industries that has reusable bolts. Okay, so the transmission is supported. Got my torque wrench set. So I looked on Black Forrest Industries site and they didn't mention anything about these, but I saw a few other spots on forums and they said just torque them to 44, so that's what I'm gonna do. If I have issues, I'll let you know. And I am gonna finally tighten these all the way. And I went ahead and tightened those bolts as well. So the dog bone is done. While I'm here, I might as well tighten this. This is the bracket that's holding up the power steering line. Finally tighten down all these bolts all the way. So I'm snugging them up and I'll come back and make sure they're torqued to the spec in my manual. So the way I'm reading the manual is that these go to 44 foot-pounds and these go to 59 foot-pounds. So this one and this one here. If someone else knows something different, holler at me, but that's the way I'm reading my manual. All right, I think that's it for this side. Then there's this one over here. All right. I have a few minutes tonight, so I'm gonna try and get all the shift linkages and all that reconnected. And it's essentially the opposite of disassembly. This is the slave cylinder going back in. You do have to hold it in while you tighten. I'm gonna reconnect some plugs. This one goes here, and don't really see where they go. Maybe this is a good time to brake, because if you saw my previous video, the coolant leak, it was coming from here. So this T is broken. I'm sure I did something to break it, but a lot of these plastic parts are just very old and brittle with so many heat cycles over the decades. They're starting to crack. So I am gonna go locate a T that I can replace this one with. So in the next video, I handle all the tubing and hose issues, and then I finish buttoning up the car, and perhaps I'll even have a chance to throw on the new fenders. If you'd like to follow along, hit subscribe. If you would like to see the things I've already done with this clutch and my Mark IV Golf, check out my playlist. Thanks for watching. Take care.